principles of differentiated service be applied to the real estate industry to stand out in a crowded market?
Yeah. And again, maybe only because I've been exposed a little bit to the real estate industry. I think in terms of before the sale, during the sale, and after the sale. And I think there are certainly some things that you could do before. And I say like right before somebody walks in, they're just looking through the model homes or whatever it is. I think if a real estate agent is worth their weight in salt and they've already captured their cell phone number, they've already got a communication conduit with that person, whether they're filling out a form or just, hey, how can I get your number? That there's some texting, there's some conversations. Hey, just wanted to follow up with you. I know you guys just walked through the homes. Again, I would think some people would say that's not the trigger that gets me to start working a lot more, because you're going to have hundreds of people that will come in perhaps on a weekly, or for some places it might be on a daily basis. You would think, what a waste of time, but it's not. I think that's how you start to build that relationship with the ultimate customer. So there's that. And maybe we'd even go before that. I had a program that was here in Central Florida called Certified Rockstar, and it was a training program. We did it for real estate agents. And one of the things that my business partner and I were talking about is, what could you get into somebody's head before they even thought about selling their house? And one thing is, we created a door hanger that basically we would hang on somebody's door in a neighborhood, but only one house. And the door hanger would actually say something like this house rocks. Out of all the houses in this neighborhood, yours is the one that we love. It's a rock star house. When you even think about selling your house, it deserves a rock star agent. I would be honored to be the person represent, but I don't do this with every house. Yours is the one we picked. You figure out short and sweet text, but think about as a homeowner getting this and your head would get so big. You'd love the fact that somebody shined a spotlight on you, but you're not selling your house until you actually do. 4 or 5 years, who cares? They're going to come back to you. So I think there are some things that you can do before the actual sell itself. Then I think about during. I go, sometimes it takes a while. It takes weeks, it takes months, even though there might be some incentives that you're trying to do, some client incentives. It might be, we're going to give you $30,000, $40,000 buyback worth of incentives to get you to stay here versus going to the next neighborhood. Or maybe we're going to pick up all of the closing costs. And we know that Joe Schmo isn't doing that. Is that going to cost the brokerage more money? It is. But if you're looking at it in volume and depending on the sale of the house itself, you could get away with some things like that. I think those, reminders need to happen every once in a while, whether it's in a text or an email or even just verbally. But I think you could even do some personalized handwritten cards if you've got the address of the person that could go to the potential client. Maybe the sale's not going to happen, but you did. Here's an even easier one, I think. $5 Starbucks or Chick-fil-A or Ulta or whatever, $5 gift cards in a personalized note. You haven't even bought the house yet, but somehow you've already built into your budget. Okay, I'm going to spend, again, I'm making this up, Paul, but let's say it's $100 a day on gift cards. That is going to matter to somebody at some point down the road, but you just build it into the actual sale itself, where is it a little bit off the top line? Yeah, but it's going to make a huge difference in them, not only with the sale, but coming back. I think about after the sale, people are going to send the generic gift basket that might be sitting, on the kitchen counter, or it's, I don't know, at the front door or whatever it is. It's the same thing that every real estate agent buys. I go, what if you actually personalize, customize, individualize that gift? What if at some point during our relationship, I knew that there's a big oak tree out there and you were talking about this is going to be great for my kids to have a swing? What if you actually put a swing? I'm just talking about a rope with a wooden, something that could be easily taken down if it wasn't what the client wanted, but you went ahead and did that and it was there when you moved in. What if you heard them and you found out they were faith-based and they maybe mentioned some sort of a Bible verse and you're like, okay, note to self, somewhere in that house, you're putting, let's say, a framed quote, or you could be really gutsy. I know a real estate agent who actually put this on the wall. they hung this short Bible quote on the wall going up the stairs. Now, as a homeowner, you might be saying, that's the stuff I'm going to put in this gift basket, or the gift that I'm going to do for them. Something that they go, this person knows me, thought about me, understands me. And it wasn't just the generic, I made a sale, I'm getting a commission and moving on. So I think there's probably a litany of things that you and I, if we sat down, I could think about. These are just off the top of my head. But if I think, what can I do pre, during, and after? These are all designed to get people to think fondly of me at some point after the sale. Or if it doesn't happen, I'm going to come back because I remember how this person made me feel. So, that's what service that rocks looks like to me. I personally, I am just all day long, I am looking for people to do something different with me. I am just hopelessly looking for people to create something that is unique to me. And like I said, I don't care what it is, but I do know you're going to get loyalty with me. And I got a loud mouth. I'm going to jump on social media, or I'm going to write about it in a book, or I'm going to talk about it in front of a couple thousand people when I'm on stage, and use you or your company as an example. And that's how that word of mouth just sort of spread. So I know I said a lot. That's a long answer to your question, man, but I think there's a lot of things that people could do to create differentiation, but they don't think about it because they're just trying to move on to make it a transactional sale and go to the next one. And if somebody isn't even looking like they're going to buy, I need to cut losses and move on. And I get that. There's a sense of urgency in real estate, but man, I think you can make people fall madly in love with the brand just by your interaction with them on a regular basis.
Absolutely. And then, yeah, definitely not forgetting about them after the sale, which so many agents do. It becomes a transactional thing. And then it's like sales done. It's like, okay, we're done. They move on. They might have intentions of doing something more, but they just, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So, it's just,
Exactly.
so yeah. So having something memorable, something useful like that, I think is wonderful. You mentioned some great things there in regards to, especially you going for the final walkthrough and they talked about, a swing or a Bible verse, and then all of a sudden this appears, in their house as they're doing their final walkthrough. And it's like, oh, there it is, and they go to closing and it's taken care of for them. And that is forever memorable.
Yeah.
And it is, doing the things that are going to help people remember who you are, because you made them feel special. And so many people are talking, worried about the pre, right? What can I do up front so that I can gain the customer and gain the sale?
Yeah.
And that's important too. It's got to go throughout the entire process and beyond that. And so that was, a wealth of information there that you shared, and I appreciate that. And